What can silence teach us about true strength? Imagine Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, navigating the chaos of war and politics. Amidst the clamor and clashing swords, he found solace and power in silence. Silence was his fortress, a place where he could reflect, connect with his inner self, and make wise decisions. In a world overwhelmed by noise and distractions, we often overlook the transformative power of silence. Think back to the last time you were caught in a whirlwind of gossip, stung by an unprovoked insult, or unjustly criticized. The natural reaction is to lash out, to defend, to retaliate. But what if instead you chose silence? Not as a sign of weakness, but as a deliberate act of strength and self-control. Stoicism teaches us that true power lies not in the noise we make, but in the calm we cultivate within. Silence, when embraced, becomes a strategic response, a tool for personal growth, and a pathway to inner peace. By not reacting, by letting our silence speak, we show that we are firmly rooted in our values and self-worth, impervious to the chaos around us. This is not about passivity. It's about harnessing silence as a powerful force. So if you find yourself trapped in the endless cycle of reacting and regretting, consider this. Silence can be your greatest ally. It is in these quiet moments that we find our true strength, our dignity, and our peace. Join me as we explore the art of Stoic silence, uncovering how sometimes saying nothing at all can say everything. Let's dive into this journey together, transforming our lives with the profound wisdom of Stoicism. And remember, as we embark on this path of silent strength, every moment brings us closer to mastering the art of Stoic silence and achieving a life of tranquility and purpose. Number 1. Silence amidst unfounded rumors. How do you handle a rumor that threatens to tarnish your reputation? Imagine waking up one morning to find that a false, damaging rumor about you is spreading like wildfire. Your first instinct might be to fight back, to squash the rumor with forceful denials and counter-arguments. But what if there's a more powerful way to respond? Consider the story of Warren Buffett, one of the world's most successful investors. Despite his immense wealth and public presence, Buffett has often been the target of rumors and misinformation. For example, during the financial crisis of 2008, rumors circulated that Buffett was in severe financial trouble and that his investments were collapsing. Instead of engaging with every piece of gossip, he maintained a stoic silence, focusing on his work and letting his actions speak for themselves. His consistent performance and integrity built a reputation that no rumor could easily shake. When confronted with unfounded rumors, our initial impulse might be to react defensively. However, Stoicism invites us to take a step back and consider a different approach. Imagine hearing a baseless rumor about yourself, something untrue and potentially harmful. Instead of rushing into the fray, pause, breathe, and remember that your worth is not determined by others' words. Why does this Stoic approach work? According to research in social psychology, reacting to rumors often gives them more power. By addressing them directly, we may inadvertently legitimize them. On the other hand, silence can deprive these rumors of the attention they need to thrive. In the calmness of your silence, the truth has a chance to surface without your intervention. But what about the impact of these rumors? Won't silence be seen as admission? Stoicism offers profound wisdom here. It teaches us that those who truly know us and understand our character won't be swayed by hearsay. For those who are quick to believe the worst, their opinions were never within our control to begin with. Consider the example of Martin Luther King Jr. During the Civil Rights Movement, King faced numerous false accusations and damaging rumors, including allegations of communist ties and personal misconduct. Instead of battling each one, he remained focused on his mission, his actions consistently reflecting his true character and values. His silence amidst the noise spoke volumes, allowing his legacy to be defined by his deeds, not by the idle talk of detractors. Moreover, this Stoic silence provides an opportunity for introspection. It allows us to look inward, to strengthen our inner citadel against the slings and arrows of misinformation. In this space of reflection, we find clarity, strength, and a deeper sense of who we are and what we stand for. By practicing the Stoic art of silence amidst rumors, cultivate resilience. We learn to navigate the choppy waters of public opinion with grace, anchoring ourselves in our truth and moving through the world with a quiet confidence that no rumor can shake. Think about the last time you faced a rumor. How did you respond? What could you have done differently? By exploring these questions, you can find a more effective way to deal with unfounded rumors in the future, guided by Stoic principles. As we continue to explore Stoic wisdom, we'll uncover how these ancient teachings can help us navigate life's greatest challenges, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. Stay tuned, and let's journey together with the calm and strength true Stoic. If you agree with me, please comment 1 below or share your own story. Your contributions greatly help me improve the content. Number 2. Navigating insults with Stoic wisdom. Why do insults hurt so much, and how can we rise above them? Imagine you're in a heated meeting and a colleague throws a sharp, biting comment your way. It stings, doesn't it? Insults, whether subtle or blatant, have a way of burrowing into our minds and disrupting our peace. Consider the story of Eleanor Roosevelt, former First Lady of the United States and a renowned human rights advocate who faced relentless criticism and scorn throughout her life. Yet she famously said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." This wasn't just a defiant declaration. It was a profound truth rooted in the philosophy of Stoicism. When someone hurls an insult at you, they're often projecting their own insecurities and struggles. Their words are a reflection of their own turmoil, not your worth. Stoicism teaches us to see this clearly, to separate ourselves from the venom in their words and find a profound inner strength that renders those words powerless. How do we achieve this? By recognizing that the only opinion truly capable of defining us is our own. You are the master of your fate. When insults come your way, you have a choice. Engage and retaliate, or rise above with a serene composure. This isn't about ignoring or suppressing your feelings. It's about acknowledging them, understanding why the insult hurts, and then choosing not to grant it the power to disrupt your peace. Let's look at the science. Studies in psychology show that non-reaction can diffuse hostility. By choosing silence, you create a barrier that protects your inner tranquility, letting the insult fade into insignificance. Think back to Nelson Mandela, who faced severe insults and oppression. Instead of responding with anger, he chose a path of reconciliation and strength. His silence, his refusal to engage in petty retaliation, spoke volumes about his character and unshakable self-worth. So the next time you find yourself stunned by an insult, ask yourself, what would a Stoic do? Embrace the power of silence. Let it be your shield, demonstrating your dignity and inner strength. Remember, Stoicism doesn't mean you don't seek support or speak out against abuse. It means you control your response, your emotions, and your dignity. Navigating the storm of insults with Stoic wisdom not only protects you, but elevates you. You live a life not buffeted by the whims of others' opinions, but anchored in a deep, unwavering sense of self-respect and inner tranquility. As we delve further, we'll explore how this same principle applies to handling anger and transforming it into a force for good. Stay tuned. Discover how Stoic wisdom can guide you through the toughest of storms. Number 3. Managing anger with Stoic wisdom. How can we transform anger from a destructive force into a source of strength? Imagine this. You're in the midst of a heated argument, words flying back and forth like daggers. Your heart races, your vision narrows, and you feel the familiar burn of anger rising within you. It's a scenario we've all faced. The real challenge lies in how we respond to that anger. Consider the story of Martin Luther King Jr. during the Civil Rights Movement. Facing immense hostility and provocation, King chose a path of nonviolence and composed resistance. His approach wasn't about suppressing anger, but channeling it into a force for positive change. King's calm and strategic response to injustice inspired millions and brought about significant societal transformation. Anger, when left unchecked, is like a wildfire, consuming everything in its path. But with the calm, composed mindset of a Stoic, you can contain that fire, using its energy to illuminate rather than destroy. How do we do this? It starts with a simple but powerful step. Pause. In that moment of pause, you create space between the trigger and your response, allowing you to choose how to react. Let's delve into the psychology behind this. Research shows that a brief pause can significantly reduce the intensity of anger, providing clarity and control over our responses. By asking yourself, "Why am I angry?" begin to uncover the underlying causes, whether it's a sense of hurt, perceived threat, or a deep-seated injustice. Understanding the root of your anger allows you to address it more effectively than a reactive outburst ever could. But what if the anger is justified? Stoicism doesn't suggest we suppress righteous anger. Instead, it offers the concept of constructive anger. Think of it as a tool, not a weapon. Controlled, directed anger can motivate us to stand up for ourselves, address injustices, and make meaningful changes in our lives. The Stoic philosopher Seneca likened unchecked anger to temporary madness, emphasizing the importance of controlling it without letting it dictate our actions. Consider the example of Nelson Mandela, who, after enduring 27 years of imprisonment, emerged with a vision of reconciliation rather than retaliation. His ability to transform personal anger into a force for national healing and unity exemplifies the power of Stoic wisdom. So the next time you feel anger rising within you, take a moment to pause and reflect. Let that pause be the space where your anger transforms from a raging wildfire into a controlled burn, a source of illumination and progress. By mastering your emotions and responding with reason, wisdom, and integrity, you not only protect yourself, but also cultivate inner peace and resilience. As we continue exploring Stoic principles, we'll uncover how this ancient wisdom can guide us through life's greatest challenges, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. Stay tuned, and let's discover how to navigate the storms of life, the calm and strength of a true Stoic. Number 4. Embracing unjust criticism with Stoic wisdom. How do you handle unfair criticism when it feels like a personal attack? Picture this. You've just finished a major project, something you've poured your heart and soul into. Suddenly, a wave of criticism crashes down on you, harsh and unearned. It's a scenario that stings deeply, but let's explore a different way to navigate these turbulent waters. Years ago, I faced a similar situation. I had written my first book, a piece of work that represented countless hours of effort and vulnerability. When the reviews started coming in, most were positive, but one particularly scathing critique tore me apart. My immediate reaction was to defend myself, to argue every point made. But then I remembered something my grandmother used to say. Not every storm is meant to be weathered. Some are meant to be danced in. This is where Stoicism steps in, offering a path to process unjust criticism without letting it consume us. Instead of lashing out, take a deep breath. This pause is not about repression, but about creating space to process emotions calmly. Ask yourself, does this criticism define who I am? Remember, your value and self-worth are not contingent on others' opinions. Consider the source of the criticism. Often, harsh words reflect more about the critic's internal struggles than your own flaws. By understanding this, you can see the criticism for what it truly is, a reflection of the critic, not a true reflection of you. This perspective can be incredibly liberating. Let's not forget that criticism, even when unjust, can hold a kernel of truth. Use this as an opportunity for growth. Analyze the feedback objectively. Is there something valuable you can learn or improve? Embrace every experience, pleasant or unpleasant, as a chance for personal development. Maintaining your tranquility is paramount. By detaching your emotional well-being from others' opinions, you shield your inner peace from the fluctuating tides of praise and blame. It's a practice that requires courage and resilience. Think about the last time you received unfair criticism. How did you react? What could you have done differently? By exploring these questions, you embark on a journey of self-discovery and growth. This isn't just about surviving criticism, it's about thriving in spite of it, using every challenge as a stepping stone to a stronger, more resilient you. In the end, remember that unjust criticism doesn't diminish your worth. It's just another wave in the vast ocean of life, one that you can navigate with grace and wisdom. Embrace the silence, let it be your shield, and continue your journey with confidence and tranquility. As we continue exploring Stoic principles, we'll delve into how this wisdom can help us face even greater trials, such as loss and grief, with resilience and strength. Stay tuned, and let's navigate life's storms together with the calm and strength true Stoic. Number 5. Facing loss with Stoic resilience. How can we navigate the inevitable pain of loss and emerge stronger? Imagine this. You've just received news that a cherished relationship has ended. Grief is overwhelming, a wave crashing over you, threatening to pull you under. In moments like these, how do we find our way back to shore? Consider the story of J.K. Rowling, who before she became a renowned author, faced profound loss and despair. Losing her mother, enduring a failed marriage, and struggling as a single mother, Rowling's world seemed to crumble. Yet in the depths of her sorrow, she found the resilience to write the Harry Potter series, a work that would bring joy and hope to millions. Her journey underscores a critical lesson in Stoicism. While we can't control what we lose, we can control how we respond to loss. Stoicism teaches us that loss, though deeply painful, is an integral part of the human experience. It's not about suppressing our grief, processing it constructively. By allowing ourselves to feel the full depth of our emotions, we honor our loss without letting it define our future. Let's delve into the psychology behind this. Research in grief therapy shows that acknowledging and expressing our emotions is essential for healing. This isn't about finding immediate answers or silver linings, but opening ourselves to the possibility of growth amidst the pain. Ask yourself, what can this loss teach me? How can it help me grow? These questions can transform our perspective, revealing new strengths and wisdom. Stoicism also emphasizes the concept of impermanence. Everything and everyone we cherish is on loan to us. By internalizing this, we can appreciate our blessings more deeply while we have them and let go with grace when the time comes. This understanding can provide a profound sense of peace and acceptance. Think about how communities come together in times of collective loss, such as during natural disasters. The support and solidarity shared among people exemplify the Stoic principle of leaning into our community, sharing our grief, allowing others to support us. In turn, offering our support can be incredibly healing. Remember, embracing Stoicism doesn't mean facing loss alone. It means being wise and brave enough to connect with others. Even in our most vulnerable moments, by navigating our grief with dignity, we find our way back to equilibrium, acknowledging the hurt while recognizing our capacity to recover and continue our journey with renewed strength. Reflect on a time when you experienced a significant loss. How did you cope? What helped you find strength? By exploring these questions, you embark on a personal journey of healing and growth. Loss doesn't diminish our worth or potential. It's a wave we can learn to ride with resilience and grace. Number 6. Confronting injustice with Stoic wisdom. How should we react when faced with blatant injustice? Imagine you're witnessing a colleague being unfairly targeted because of their background. Your instinct is to react with outrage, to defend them immediately. But is there a more effective way to channel that righteous anger? Consider the story of Mahatma Gandhi, the leader of India's nonviolent independence movement against British rule. Rather than resorting to violence, Gandhi employed nonviolent resistance, a strategy rooted in Stoic principles. He observed the situation, understood the power dynamics at play, and chose a response aligned with his values of peace and justice. His approach not only garnered global support, but also led to India's independence. When confronted with injustice, our initial impulse might be to react with indignation or despair. These are natural human responses. However, Stoicism invites us to step back and evaluate the situation with clarity and composure. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent or passive. It means choosing a response aligned with our values and principles, not dictated by our impulses. Let's delve into the Stoic approach to battling injustice. It starts with observation and understanding. Ask yourself, what is within my power to change? Stoicism teaches us to focus our efforts on our actions and attitudes, the realms where we have real control. While we may not be able to rectify every injustice, we can choose not to let it diminish our spirit or our commitment to what is right. Research in social psychology supports this approach. Studies show that thoughtful, deliberate actions in response to injustice can lead to more sustainable and effective outcomes compared to impulsive reactions. By acting with intention and purpose, whether it's raising awareness, supporting those affected, or working towards systemic change, we contribute to justice in meaningful ways. Imagine you're an educator who notices systemic discrimination in the school system. Inspired by Stoic principles, you decide to gather data, mobilize community support, and advocate for policy changes. This thoughtful, deliberate approach aligns with your deeper understanding of justice and leads to lasting change. Stoicism also encourages us to cultivate inner resilience. Facing injustice can be draining, disheartening, even soul-crushing, but remember, your inner citadel, your core of Stoic strength, remains untouched. You can witness or experience injustice and still maintain your inner peace and integrity. This isn't about turning a blind eye. It's about not letting external chaos interrupt your inner harmony. Furthermore, Stoicism reminds us of the power of community and shared humanity. Injustice often isolates us, makes us feel alone in our struggle. But remember, we are part of a larger human tapestry. Connecting with others, standing in solidarity, and drawing on collective strength and wisdom can be profoundly empowering. In embracing a Stoic approach to injustice, we find a balanced path forward. We act not out of impulsive anger or desperation, but from a place of measured, principled strength. We acknowledge our emotions without letting them overwhelm us. We focus on what we can do, however small, to contribute to justice and equity. Reflect on the last time you witnessed injustice. How did you react? What could you have done differently? By exploring these questions, you can discover a more effective way to stand up against injustice, guided by the wisdom of Stoicism. As we continue to explore Stoic principles, we'll uncover how this ancient wisdom can guide us through life's greatest challenges, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. Stay tuned, and let's navigate life's storms together with the calm and strength of a true Stoic. Number 7. Navigating ignorance with Stoic grace. Why do we find it so hard to deal with ignorance? Picture yourself in a heated debate where the other person's views are not only different, factually incorrect. The urge to correct them, to set things right, is strong. But what if there's a better way to handle this? Consider the approach of Carl Sagan, a renowned astrophysicist and science communicator known for his work on the television series Cosmos, A Personal Voyage, and his efforts to popularize science. Sagan often encountered ignorance and misinformation about science. Instead of reacting with frustration, Sagan chose to engage with patience and empathy. He believed in the power of asking questions and understanding the roots of people's beliefs, which often opened the door to meaningful dialogue. For instance, during his career, Carl Sagan faced widespread skepticism about the search for extraterrestrial life. Many dismissed his ideas as fanciful or unscientific. Instead of meeting this skepticism with hostility, Sagan approached it as an opportunity to educate and inspire curiosity. He would ask probing questions like, what if life does exist elsewhere? What would it mean for our understanding of the universe? By framing the discussion this way, Sagan invited people to think critically and expand their perspectives, rather than simply dismissing their skepticism. When faced with ignorance, our first reaction might be to argue, correct, or even belittle the other person's viewpoint. It's natural to want to set things right. However, Stoicism invites us to pause and approach the situation differently. Instead of seeing ignorance as a battle to be won, view it as an opportunity to practice patience, empathy, and understanding. Imagine you're in a discussion and someone presents a perspective that's not just different, but blatantly uninformed. The Stoic approach. First, listen. Really listen. Try to understand where this person is coming from. What experiences or fears might be shaping their views? By truly listening, you're not endorsing their ignorance. You're simply giving yourself the space to respond thoughtfully rather than reactively. Next, ask yourself if this is a moment for teaching or a moment for learning. Sometimes the most Stoic response is to offer information gently and respectfully, without expectation or attachment to the outcome. Other times it might be more productive to ask questions, to learn why they hold these views, or even to reflect on what this encounter teaches you about patience and humility. But what if the ignorance you're facing is harmful or dangerous? Stoicism doesn't ask us to be passive in the face of injustice or misinformation. In these situations, you can still take a stand, voice your concerns, or provide correct information. The key is to do so with composure, not letting anger or frustration take the wheel. Research in cognitive psychology supports this approach. Studies show that people are more likely to change their views when they feel heard and understood, rather than when they are attacked or belittled. By creating a space for dialogue, we can foster understanding and potentially lead others to reconsider their positions. Stoicism also reminds us to choose our battles wisely. Not every ignorant statement needs correcting. Sometimes the most graceful and effective response is to simply walk away, conserving your energy for more fruitful discussions or actions. And remember, navigating the seas of ignorance isn't just about dealing with others. It's also about confronting our own blind spots. Stoicism teaches us to be lifelong learners, always open to expanding our understanding and challenging our assumption. Think back to a time when you encountered ignorance. How did you react? What could you have done differently? By reflecting on these questions, you can develop a more stoic approach to future encounters, turning ignorance into an opportunity for growth and understanding. As we continue to explore Stoic principles, we'll uncover how this ancient wisdom can guide us through life's greatest challenges, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. Stay tuned and let's navigate life's storms together with the calm and strength of a true Stoic. Number 8. Embracing Stoic silence amidst boasts. How do you handle boasting without getting swept up in the need to compete? Consider this. True worth is in being, not seeming. As Socrates once said, imagine you're at a dinner party where the conversation quickly turns into a contest of who has achieved more, who knows more important people, or who has traveled to more exotic places. You might feel the urge to join in, to assert your own accomplishments to match or outshine those around you. But is that truly necessary? Take a lesson from the life of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. Despite his position and achievements, Marcus Aurelius was known for his humility and his practice of self-reflection. He often reminded himself that true worth comes from within and not from the approval of others. He wrote, "The approval of such men, who do not even stand well in their own eyes, has no value for him." When faced with boasts, Stoicism teaches us to empathize with this need for external validation without getting swept up in it. True worth and contentment come from within, not from external accolades or recognition. By choosing silence in the face of boasting, you are not conceding defeat. Rather, you are asserting your own confidence and self-assurance. So, how can we apply this in our daily lives? Next time you find yourself in a situation where boasting abounds, take a step back. Listen quietly and reflect inwardly. By choosing silence, you resist the competitive urge to one-up the boaster or validate their need for attention. Instead, you stay true to your values, focusing on your own path and sense of self-worth. This silence is not passive. It's an active, powerful choice. It demonstrates that you don't need to join the chorus of self-congratulation to feel secure in your achievements or worth. Moreover, this silence allows you to observe and learn about others. Understanding what drives their need to boast can provide insights into their insecurities or desires for validation. But what if the boasting becomes too much, tipping over into arrogance or falsehood? Stoicism counsels us to weigh our response carefully. If a response is necessary, it should be measured, kind, and rooted in truth, not driven by a desire to deflate or humiliate. Embracing silence in the face of boasting also offers a moment for self-reflection. It's an opportunity to examine your reactions and ask yourself why the boasting affects you. Are you feeling insecure, competitive, or overlooked? By understanding your emotions, you can address your own needs and insecurities more effectively than by engaging in a battle of egos. In practicing Stoic silence amidst boasts, we cultivate inner peace, humility, and a deep-seated confidence that doesn't depend on external validation. We learn to appreciate our own worth without needing to broadcast it, and offer others the space to express themselves. even if their way doesn't resonate with us. As Marcus Aurelius showed, true strength lies in silent confidence and the wisdom to know that our value is inherent, not bestowed by the fleeting approval of others. Reflect on this the next time you encounter boasting. How will you choose to respond? By embracing Stoic silence, you can navigate such situations with grace and strength, finding peace in your own path and achievement. Number 9. Dealing with gossip. Power of silence. How do you handle gossip when your reputation is on the line? Imagine this. You're in a crowded office, the hum of chatter surrounding you. Suddenly you hear your name being whispered, maliciously twisted into a rumor. Your first instinct might be to rush in and set the record straight, but what if there's a more effective approach? Consider the story of George Washington during the Revolutionary War. Faced with rampant rumors and personal attacks, Washington often chose silence over confrontation. Instead of feeding the gossip, he focused on his duties, letting his actions speak louder than words. This strategy not only preserved his dignity but also strengthened his leadership. Gossip, much like the wildfire that consumed ancient Rome, thrives on attention. The more we engage, the more fuel we add. But what happens when we withhold that fuel? By choosing silence, we deprive gossip of the attention it craves, allowing it to extinguish itself. Here's where the science backs it up. Research shows that rumors lose their potency without reinforcement. When you don't react, you're essentially cutting off the oxygen supply to the fire, letting it die out on its own. But silence isn't about passive acceptance. It's a strategic move. By focusing on your actions and integrity, you demonstrate resilience and strength. Those who truly know and value you will see beyond the idle chatter. They'll recognize your silence as a sign of wisdom and self-control. Imagine another scenario. A renowned scientist, Marie Curie, faced immense criticism and gossip in her career. Instead of retaliating, she immersed herself in her groundbreaking research, letting her work speak volumes. Her silence became her shield, and her achievements silenced the critics. So, the next time you find yourself in the midst of a rumor storm, ask yourself, what would a Stoic do? By embracing silence, you not only protect your peace, but also project a powerful message. Let your actions define you, not the whispers of others. This principle doesn't just apply to the workplace. In our personal lives, silence can be a formidable response to insults and attacks. As we delve deeper, we'll explore how this ancient wisdom can help us navigate even the most treacherous waters with grace and strength. Stay tuned, and let's uncover the art of turning silence into your greatest ally. As we wrap up our exploration today, let's remember that silence is more than just the absence of sound. It's a profound source of strength and a testament to your inner resilience. Choosing silence in the face of challenges allows you to harness the wisdom of Stoicism, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth and inner peace. This isn't about inaction. It's about making a powerful, conscious choice to maintain your integrity and composure. Silence serves as a space for reflection, a moment to gather your thoughts and align your actions with your values. It invites introspection, helping you understand your emotions and respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. By embracing silence, you cultivate a calm mind, a deep connection with your inner self, and a lasting sense of tranquility. Now I encourage you to continue on this path of growth and self-discovery. Dive deeper into the principles of Stoicism and strive to live a life filled with purpose, peace, and enduring strength. Thank you for being part of this journey. Your presence enriches our community, and together, we're learning to navigate life's storms with grace and resilience. If you found value in this video, please like, subscribe, and comment with the number 9 below if you agree with me. Let's continue to walk this path of learning and growth, guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism.